What's going on, fellow gamers? I'm back, and we are back at it again with yet another video of me talking about my Switch 2. 2 videos in the span of a week. Isn't that crazy? So go ahead and sit down, grab a snack, kick back, relax, and get ready for this great and awesome video. Starting off, I'm just going to knock out the negatives because that's all that a lot of people are talking about. The price, which, don't get me wrong, $450 for a console, I feel like for what it's worth, $450 is not bad, especially if you realize it's 120 frames per second, 4K compatibility with the dock, so it's basically a modern console to go. So with all that in mind, $450 is not too crazy. When you realize how long the Switch 1 lasted, which was like, what, 8 years? So imagine 8 years, $450 divided by 8, that's how many dollars a year you're spending on Switch 2, which honestly is a steal. Like, obviously with like tariffs and stuff, it could go up, but like, I'll get to that part in a later section. But $450 for the console, not crazy for a base. $500 with Mario Kart, which means Mario Kart would be $50 if you got it that way. So I mean, that's probably the best deal that you could get. But then that leads us over to where things get a bit more debatable. $80 Mario Kart. Let's be honest, if any Nintendo game was going to be $80, it was either going to be the new Smash Bros. Or the new Mario Kart. Or the new 3D Mario. And the new Mario Kart's what got revealed. So honestly, $80, I'm fine with it. I see why people are mad about it, because like $80 for a game's crazy. But those are like the same people who are willing to spend like $100 on GTA 6. Which, that's probably going to be worth it, like nobody's arguing that. So I feel like we should at least hear Nintendo out, at least until their Mario Kart Direct comes out. Because they probably got something for $80, like a single player campaign or something. But they have open world Mario Kart now. I feel like that's worth $80 alone. And I feel like we're gonna like drop like a bunch of like free updates instead of like a booster course pass. It's just gonna come like built in, where over the next couple of years, we're just gonna have like new courses, new characters, maybe even new items. Don't quote me on that, but like, wouldn't that be worth $80? In my opinion it is, but that's up to you guys, I guess. The other big exclusive Switch 2, like, first-party Nintendo game is the new Donkey Kong, which, oh my gosh, I might be more hyped for that than the new Mario Kart. So honest, that game looks incredible. Like, the animation looks so good, Donkey Kong looks so expressive. Everybody who's afraid of a new design is stupid, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I feel like that game validates it so much, and it's literally like our Odyssey 2. Like, it's probably made by the same team, it looks and feels like the exact same. This is the best that Donkey Kong has looked in any game or felt in any game. And I've seen like the footage of like people playing it on the Switch like portably. It looks so good. Like Donkey Kong can like literally just like break his surroundings, like finding like secret bananas and stuff. Like that is so cool. Like I can't believe they didn't make that earlier, but I'm glad that they waited until Switch 2 to do it, because honestly, that might be the best game on Switch 2. Until like the 3D, honestly 3D Mario has a lot to live up to now, because I can honestly imagine Donkey Kong Bonanza, hold up, the price, Bonanza, the title, Bonanza is a genius name, like banana with a Z, that is such a smart name. Like honestly, everything about that game's perfect. Like I have no complaints, I don't think anybody has any complaints with Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's just that good. So Donkey Kong Bonanza is definitely on my, like, probably like my most wanted Switch 2 game, honestly. And it's coming out like a month after the Switch, which is pretty nice. It's not gonna be like a holiday title, which I thought they would do, but that means they must have something cooking up. And it's only $70 compared to Mario Kart's $80. And I feel like 70 is more standard for games nowadays, so I feel like 70 people won't get that mad over. So honestly, for $70, Donkey Kong Bonanza is probably gonna be my favorite Switch 2 game for a while. Maybe Mario Kart Worlds might be a bit more, but I guess we'll see. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, definitely pick it up, and I know I will, like, when it comes out. And that brings me to another Nintendo franchise game. I'm not sure if it's technically first party because it's Kirby Air Riders. I'm not sure if that, because I know it's made by like HAL, so it's not like in-house, but it's still first party. And as I said, Kirby Air Riders, sequel to the beloved GameCube game Kirby Air Ride, and they got Masahiro Sakurai, the Smash Bros. Guy, to come back to Kirby to make it. So honestly, that alone is a good enough premise for a game, and it's coming out in 2025, which honestly My only complaint with this game is that it's coming out same year as a Mario Kart, so I'm afraid people won't play it as much. But it's still going to be a great game, honestly. Like, I haven't played the original on GameCube, but I've always heard everybody, like, talk about how great it is and how it's, like, the best kart racer or whatever. So I'm willing to, like, hear it out. I'm going to get it when it comes out, probably. Or I'll wait until Christmas, one of the two. But yeah, I'm really excited for that game. That game has a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to it, honestly. Now, I feel like we should have, in my opinion, released it in, like, 2026. So you get, like, a year between that and Mario Kart. Because let's be honest, even if Mario Kart World is trash and Kirby Air Riders is the best game ever made, Mario Kart's still gonna sell more. Like, Mario Kart has name recognition. The last game sold, like, 70-something million units. Best-selling Mario game of all time. Second best-selling Nintendo game of all time, behind Wii Sports, which, let's be honest, that game's never gonna get topped because it's a pack-in. So, Kirby Air Riders, I'm excited for it. I'm worried for it, but I still think it's gonna be a great game, and I will definitely be picking it up. And the final major, in my opinion, like, Switch 2 Nintendo game is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This game is slotted to come out in winter of this year, so it might honestly be the big holiday game. I feel like Nintendo might have something else cooking up, but if not, honestly, the Switch 2 has enough going on this year where I feel like it's probably set for, like, Christmas and all that. But let's talk about it. So, I have played the first Hyrule Warriors on Wii U. Great game. It's a fun slasher. I love it. I have not played Age of Calamity. I've heard it has some, like, performance issues on Switch 1. So I'm glad I've ever given it, like, a second chance on Switch 2. Honestly, though, they should make a 4K, like, HD port of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity on Switch 2 like they have for other games, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment takes place... It's either a prequel or, like, kind of during Tears of the Kingdom, which, another game in the Breath of the Wild world. I think this is going to be the last original game that takes place in, like, that timeline or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be good to see that one last time on Switch 2, 120 FPS as I said, so I feel like that game's going to look amazing, like the best Warriors looking game. So that alone makes it better than Age of Calamity, probably. Don't quote me on that. I could be very wrong. But, like, at least, like, looks-wise and graphics, I think it's going to be the best Hyrule Warriors game. We don't really know a lot about it, so I can't really say much more. But keep your eyes out for that one. I am very interested in it. So, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so Drag X Drive is... I feel like that game's kind of controversial right now because they didn't really... I feel like the footage that they showed did the game really dirty. But it's basically Nintendo's, like, showcase of how the mouse mode on Switch 2 is gonna work. And it's like wheelchair basketball, so I mean, that alone, props to Nintendo for doing that. I think, like, I've watched some, like, wheelchair basketball, it looks cool. I never thought about playing it, but then again, I haven't thought about just playing, like, normal basketball, like, as a video game. But Dragon Drive, honestly... The trailer made it look really boring, like there's no, like, fun colors which you expect from a Nintendo game. But then I watched some, like, people play it from, like, their hands-on, like, event, which was, like, 2 days ago, I think. And honestly, the game looks pretty good. Like, you can do, like, little, like, flips and, like, spins, tricks and stuff. You can, like, dunk it, which is super cool. So honestly, don't know a lot about Drag X Drive, but I am interested. I'm not sure if it's a digital-only game. And I'm not sure how much the price is, so that depends on if I'm going to get it or not, but I'm definitely intrigued in it. So, keep your eyes open for that one. Okay, this Switch 2 game I do not really have an excuse for, but Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, horrible game, horrible idea. I haven't watched any gameplay for it, so I'm not going to judge too much, but going off the trailer, did the game so dirty, and honestly, the game's probably dirty, so I don't feel like it's being done dirty if it is dirty. But it's literally like an instruction manual game for Switch 2, and they're selling it separately. Now, I will say, I feel like nobody would be complaining if it was like a pack-in game, like digitally. But it's literally paid digital, so at least it's not getting a physical port that would be like a ton of money. But like even if it's like $15, honestly, like I feel if it's $5, I might be okay with it. But anything over that, really. Like, it's literally just teaching you how to use the system, and you have to pay for it? That is so stupid. Why would Nintendo make that? Now, for all I know, they might have like some crazy thing planned for that game that I don't know about. But just going off of what we know, or at least what I know, because I didn't watch the Treehouse part of this. But no, I'm not gonna. Actually, I probably still will get that game because I'm a Nintendo diehard. But will I like it? Probably not. And I would not recommend getting it unless they reveal something else about it. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I would take a few steps back, observe it, and then maybe, just maybe, if the game looks somewhat tolerable, then get it. If it's at the right price. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Switch 2 Online, which I feel like this should be the most like supported thing that Nintendo's doing out of this. But they're bringing GameCube to Switch Online. Expansion pack for no additional cost. Like, yeah, sure, it's expansion packs, so you have to pay that. But GameCube definitely validates that price and then some. Because honestly, Nintendo could have easily gotten away with just making more HD ports like they did for Metroid Prime and all that. And I was afraid, honestly, that they just were going to keep doing that for like $40 a game. But if you're just bringing it to like online, even if it's at like a slower rate, less games, like if you're launching it with Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. Like those, okay, I'm not sure about Soul Calibur 2, but F-Zero GX and Wind Waker, people were willing to buy HD versions of those for full price. So the fact that Nintendo launches GameCube Switch Online with those, insane. Like, that is an insane deal. They're releasing new GameCube controllers for it, which honestly I might actually get these ones because they keep re-releasing GameCube controllers for every console. But this one's wireless, and it has like the chat button on it, so that might be cool enough. I guess we'll see. And then the games that they have coming to it later. Like, they're re-releasing Chibi Robo on it. That game alone sells for like $300. Then you have like Fire Emblem Gale of... No, that's Pokemon. The Fire Emblem game for GameCube. That game is like multi-hundreds as well. The Pokemon games are multi-hundreds. And they reveal that all those are going to come eventually. So Nintendo knows what they're doing with that. That is honestly probably the most pro-consumer thing that Nintendo's revealed with this whole Switch 2 thing, which is kind of sad, but honestly, it's still a great deal. It's not on Switch 1, which kind of sucks, but it's a great incentive to get Switch 2. And then Super Mario Sunshine's coming back, so it's not locked in purgatory with 3D All-Stars and Luigi's Mansion. So I'm interested in that. I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely getting expansion pack Switch Online just for that. Now, the final like game-related thing I'll be talking about here is the 4K updated Switch 1 games, which honestly, initially, whoa, a lot of lees being spoken here, but those come off as a hard sell, having to like spend like $10 extra to get each one. And they're releasing like physical versions if you don't have the original for like $70 to $80. I think Tears of the Kingdom's the only $80 one, but the rest are like $70. Which honestly, people are complaining about those prices too. But frankly, if you didn't own the original, you would have had to spend at least $60 on the original anyways. So $10 to get like some like major like components, and the ones that they were releasing like to buy have new additions. Like the Kirby Forgotten Land has like a whole new level and like stuff to do. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are releasing a whole mobile app, which is like Google Maps, but like for Hyrule. So Hyrule Maps is coming. And then you have Mario Party Jamboree plus like Bowser TV or whatever it's called. Adds whole new mini games, probably like a whole new mode, honestly, that supports the camera that's coming. Which for $50 a camera, really. But, you know, I'm not going to talk about that in this video because honestly, I don't really care. But for what it's worth, honestly, paying $10 for like all that extra stuff, not that bad. And if you have the original game and you have Switch Online, you get the upgrades for free. So honestly, all this stuff is just like a great ad for Switch like 2 Online, I'm gonna call it now. But like, that is insane. Like, I never like bought Tears of the Kingdom, so I'll probably just buy the physical version for like $80 maybe. But Breath of the Wild, I'm gonna have that upgrade for free. That's amazing. Like, same for Mario Party Jamboree. Like, I'm excited about that. Like, that's gonna be insane. And hopefully they end up adding other games. But another thing, some games are getting their upgrades for free. Like Mario Odyssey, I think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, like those games, they're not having like any major like gameplay additions, but they're getting like the 4K 120 FPS upgrades for free. So I mean, honestly, props to Nintendo for not charging for those, and we're only charging for ones with like gameplay components added. So honestly, 4K like Switch 2 upgrade games, good deal. Now, I'm not gonna get political with this, but the tariffs are dangerous for Switch 2. But honestly, I feel like Nintendo might have a solution that will give them back like all of like their brand trust. What if, hear me out, they don't raise the prices due to tariffs? Now, I know that is stupid. I'm not sure how bad the tariffs are, so maybe like financially that's impossible. But imagine it's revealed that even with tariffs, Nintendo doesn't raise their prices. Like, people say the Switch 2 is already overpriced, so if they use tariff, Nintendo Switch 2 is probably done for. But if they don't raise the prices, and they keep like $450 Switch, $80 Mario Kart, $70 other games, I think that'll give them a lot of fan trust again. Because then we're like, oh my gosh, like Nintendo's not like catering to like the tariffs, they're like supporting the fans. That would be insane. Now, I don't think that will ever happen, but I just threw that out there. Nintendo, hear me out. And for the final thing that I will be talking about here, is there going to be one last big game this year? I think Nintendo might have one more thing. I don't think it's going to be anything too big. Like 3D Mario, no shot. Donkey Kong took that slot. Maybe next year, maybe year after that, sometime then. But honestly, I don't even care about that. Donkey Kong Bonanza is that good. 3D Zelda, no way. They might like announce if they're working on the next one, but that's probably as far as that would go. Kirby, eating good. Kirby fans are eating so good on Switch 2. Like, they got like an upgraded Kirby game and Air Ride. But like, okay. Star Fox? Star Fox might be the way to go. Honestly, I'm not a big Star Fox guy. I've never played a single Star Fox game. But honestly, I'd be down for that. Maybe Splatoon. Or Animal Crossing for that matter. But I feel like that's more a Switch 2 Year 2 game. But yeah, honestly, I feel like it's going to be Star Fox or nothing. Luigi's Mansion 4, I feel like that's a solid like Year 2, Year 3 game. Because I feel like the issue of Switch 1 is that they went through all their IPs in like 2 years. Or 2 or 3 years-ish. And then they're making us wait forever for the next one. So I feel like Nintendo is going to learn from that, space out their releases more. So they don't like just first like 4 years are insane and then the next 4 are kind of like meh. But honestly, I don't feel like Switch 2 even needs anything this year besides what they've announced. Like, if they just play their cards right, Switch 2 could have a great launch year. So, with all that in mind, I apologize for my yap. But that's all for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I am